Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to our Unit 2, Lesson 3, first part of our Read Aloud. So, who remembers what is classification? A classification is a grouping together of things based on how they are alike and the separating of things based on how they are different. So classification means we group things together by how they are alike and different. You are going to listen to a text that focuses on vertebrate animals. Remember, those are animals with a backbone. We will add additional notes to our vertebrate and invertebrate chart from earlier in the lesson. So you should have your chart handy so that you can add notes to it when it's time. We're also going to be practicing finding the main point and supporting details of passages from the reading. So the main idea and details of the reading. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Rattenborough, world traveler and presenter of animals, back for another exciting day of slide show and tell. Remember my friend Hilda the hippo? We are actually like her. Do you know how? We are all vertebrates. That's right. Vertebrates have backbones, and animals without backbones are called invertebrates. Because you and I are both vertebrates, we'll talk about vertebrates first. Let's take a look at the hippopotamus. But first, let's talk about what is the important point. What is the main idea from the first paragraph that I just read to you? If you said that vertebrates have backbones and invertebrates do not, you are correct. Now let's go back to the picture. When you look at the outside of an animal, you can't see the backbone because it is on the inside. But sometimes you can tell where the backbone is. Under a vertebrate's skin, there is a ridge. This is the backbone or spine that starts near its head and runs all the way down its back to its tail. Find your backbone again. Remember those bumpy bones? Each bump you feel is a separate vertebra. They form a row in your neck all the way down your back to your tailbone. Your spine serves a very important purpose. Your spine protects your spinal cord, that large bundle of nerves that sends messages from your brain to every part of your body. Let's look at the backbones of the 5 animal species to which my 5 friends belong. We've seen that a hippopotamus has a backbone. Next, let's look at one of Ebenezer's fellow egrets. Its backbone, or spinal column, helps it hold its head up high and protects its spinal cord. Like all egrets, Ebenezer could not live without his backbone. All birds have backbones, or vertebra. Snakes don't look like they have backbones, do they? Even though snakes slither or slip and slide along, they absolutely do have backbones. A snake vertebrae, like anacondas, run the length of its body and swing low to the ground as its muscles help it move along the ground or climb up trees. A pair of ribs is attached to each vertebra, protecting the body parts inside the snake's body. All reptiles have backbones, so you can't always tell from the outside whether an animal is a vertebrate with a spine, a backbone, or whether it's an invertebrate. I'm going to pause here. You pause the video and write down, see if there's anything you'd like to add to your chart. And you can also write as you're listening to me read. How about fish? Would you say fish have backbones? The answer is yes. All fish have backbones, just as reptiles, birds, and mammals do. It's very tricky to see, but if you took an X-ray of its body, you would see that all the other tiny bones that make up the skeleton of the fish are connected to its spine. Paolo told me that even though all fish have backbones, some fish, like sharks and stingrays, have backbones that are made of lighter and more bendable cartilage instead of hard bone, allowing them to be more flexible and travel more quickly. That leaves amphibians. Take a look at my animal friends one more time. Pay close attention to the toad next to Tabitha. It's hard to tell when you look at a toad's body that there is a backbone inside. Now tell me, do toads have backbones? Yes, to be sure, they certainly do. Toads are vertebrates too. All amphibians have backbones. That means that all 5 of the animals you've seen today are vertebrates. They all have backbones. The question I'm going to present to you, students, is this. Do all animals on Earth have backbones? What are your predictions? We know that mammals, which include hippopotami, me, you, birds, fish, reptiles, and amphibians, are all vertebrates too. Have we covered all the animal groups on Earth? Aha, trick question. If you said no, your predictions were correct. Do you remember if there are more vertebrates or more invertebrates on Earth? Look at this image that I shared with you earlier. Remember, more than 95% of all animal species are invertebrates, and insects are the biggest group of invertebrates. And there are still so many vertebrates yet to be discovered and classified. As you can see in the image, vertebrates are actually only a teeny tiny group here on Earth. Because we tend to think and talk mostly about vertebrates, we sometimes forget that most of the animals in the world are actually invertebrates, and most of those are insects.